All right. Peace and greetings. You're about to get educated. To all the men watching this video, pay close attention because you're going to find out about this child support system being the way to hell. All right. And these child support whores working with this whore of Babylon, which the child support system is a part of. Yes, it is the way to hell. And these whores who got you caught up in the child support system, they're leading you to hell. So let's get to it. So pay attention. Whether you believe in the scriptures or not, which hopefully you do, because a lot of the law of this so-called land, right, meaning these laws they don't want to honor, they get a lot of these from this King James Version Bible. So you need to pay attention to this if you're dealing with a child support issue, or you may have to deal with one soon, right? Because you can get rid of it and you don't need to send mail to 55, 60 different places. You just need the proper knowledge. So let's go. Proverbs chapter 7, right? That's where we are. Verse 1. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law is the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. Right? Verse 5. That they, meaning wisdom and understanding, that they may keep thee from the strange woman. So that's what you need to pay attention to. Matter of fact, that's what all of us need to pay attention to. From the stranger which flattereth with her words. So she can flatter with her words because she can put on that lip gloss or lipstick. She can put on a little blush. She can wink those eyes. She can smile. You understand? She can put on whatever type of clothing she needs to do to accentuate her curves, and she got you. You understand? She know how to be real feminine, right? Until she gets what she wants. Verse 6. And by the way, this is not only physically for the strange woman, but the system will lure you in as well because you think you being a man by signing up. Because some of you signed up voluntarily for child support, meaning the system, right? If you're supporting your sons and daughters, right, the way the Most High intended or the way nature intended, right, then you are doing well. But if you're paying this whore of Babylon system, and so that these whores who have lured you into their homes or into the hotel or wherever you got them pregnant, you're not being a man, you're being suckered, and you're feeding a beast system which is leading you to hell. All right, so let's get to it. You're going to see what I mean by hell in just a little while. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement and beheld among the simple ones. I discerned among the youths, right? A young man, look, void of understanding. This young man was void of understanding. Again, don't get impatient with me. You need to watch this video all the way through. And you might need to watch it 3 or 4 times. Verse 8, passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house, meaning this is the strange woman's house, who is the whore. Let's make it plain. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. See? So y'all know that old song, The Freaks Come Out at Night? That's funny, right? But it's actually true, at least to a certain extent. Verse 10, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and of subtle heart. That means she had on clothes like a whore. Attire is clothes, and harlot is an archaic or ancient word for whore. Prostitute, same thing. And it don't mean she have to sell it to be considered a whore, right? If she lures you in with it, she don't have to be on the street selling it to be considered a harlot in the scripture. But a harlot is somebody who might be outright selling it as well. And subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. You already know about these loudmouth women that think they strong black women. Well, the scripture says she's loud and stubborn. It didn't say she was loud and strong. And yes, there may be other ethnicities that like to have a loud mouth and be boisterous, but I know certainly that so-called black women in this United States of America, they think they're strong because they're loud and stubborn, running a big mouth. So don't pay attention to them. You pay attention to these words that you see on this screen or in your Bible. Pay attention, because it's going to tell you all about her, and you won't fall for her lies. If she say you don't want a strong woman, what that means is most of the time you don't want a loud and stubborn woman that's going to lead you to hell, which is destruction. Her feet abide not in her own house, meaning she don't stay home where she's supposed to. Let's continue. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. Meaning this hoe is out in the street trying to lure men in, right? With her sexuality, with her hips, butt, thighs, eyes, lips, winking at you, kissing on you, everything else, right? Let's keep going. So she caught him and kissed him, right? And with an impudent face said unto him. Now let's pause here. She caught him, meaning this whore caught the young man. But in today's time, once she catches him and she gets pregnant, she gonna put him on child support, and she gonna say he's a deadbeat. She out in the street luring men in, catching them, trapping them. But once she gets pregnant, now he needs to take responsibility. See, I'm showing y'all this because you're gonna see who the real problem is, right? Nobody stands on a corner and saying, man, I really wish they would build a store here so I could shop. No, people bring merchandise out there, or they build a store with merchandise to lure shoppers. So men don't stand on the corner saying, hey, I wish some hoes would show up. No, the hoes show up with their fancy attire to lure men. So if you get rid of these whores, you wouldn't have this problem. Let's continue. I have peace offerings with me. This is what this whore is saying. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. So she looking for you hard, brother. She looking for you hard, young man, because she wants you to think she has what you need. Verse 16, I have decked my bed with the coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. Today, that's when some people putting roses on the bed. Somebody want to pop bottles and get drunk. Somebody want to take a few pills and get high. You understand? Get all that extra sexual energy going. And you better be careful with that so you don't get charged with date rape. She'll take the drugs, y'all do something she ashamed of, and then later on she'll say you raped her, or she gonna put you on child support even though she lured you into this situation. Let's continue. Verse 17, I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Oh, she looking good, smelling good, got the bed smelling good, all of that. See, a lot of y'all don't know that the Bible breaks things down like this. It's not just some book that's useless. If you look and read what's in here, you're going to find out it's going to help you with your actual life right now, not just later on in the spiritual realm. It's going to help you right now too. Verse 18, come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. In other words, let's do us. Let's do whatever we want to do. Ooh, she going to tell you, you can do whatever you want to her. Turn her this way, turn her that way. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit graphic because this how these whores talk, and this how they lure you in. Oh yeah, we can do it from the back, from the side. You understand? All of this kind of stuff. But then when she gets pregnant, you're the monster, you're the criminal, you're the deadbeat. You understand? And this whore of Babylon system is going to protect her and say you should take care of her and or that child that you got her pregnant with, right? You understand? So I'm warning you right now. I'm warning you that these whores will lead you to hell. But let's continue. Let us solace ourselves with love, for the good man is not at home. That's why I read all of these verses, because this hoe is married. See, all of these hoes ain't single, all right? A lot of them is actually married or then been married and divorced, or look, got a boyfriend over here, a boyfriend over there, and you wonder why he's showing up, kicking in doors, shooting at you, and you ducking and dodging, right? Tires getting slashed, all kind of nonsense. For the good man is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He hath taken a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed. She telling you all this man's business and you think it's all good. With her much fair speech, which means beautiful speech. She's saying everything you want to hear. You like every word that comes out of her shiny, glossed lips. You see? She caused him to yield with the flattering of her lips. She forced him. I thought men couldn't get raped. So I'm going to show you something. When you get seduced by these women and you're under their control, you don't even know what you're doing at that point. But you're going to know what they're doing to you when they tell you got to pay this debt for 18 years or 21 years or however long, depending on the situation, right? He goeth after her straightway. So now he's fallen into the trap as an ox goeth to the slaughter. Do you see that? An ox is a big, strong animal, but he's going to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. You understand? Basically, that means you're going to get your ass whipped. You're going to be locked up, and they can do to prisoners whatever they want to do. Till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children. And don't get impatient, because I'm going to show you a real life case where this just happened, right? This is current news going on right now that I'm going to show you where this or something very similar to this happened to a man. He wasn't necessarily messing with a married woman, but his ass barely escaped with his life, all right? I'm making it plain so you can hear this in layman's street terms, because some of y'all act like you can't understand the King James Version Bible. So basically, this chapter is saying, if you keep messing with these hoes in the street, she gonna get you killed or take all of your money or both. And your ass gonna end up in jail or dead or in hell, physically or spiritually or both. That's what it's saying. So you can understand that. Verse 25. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Meaning you might have been an okay guy or okay brother before she got to you. But your heart can decline, which means go lower to her ways. Watch this here. Go not astray in her paths. For she hath cast down many wounded. Yes, many men will go down because of these whores. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. So this what you better know. You better know when you messing with these hoes, they got something for you. Because it's an evil spirit working through her. It's not that she's so smart. It's that that evil spirit in her is so damn dirty. That serpent that was fooling Eve and Adam back in the garden, guess what? It's fooling you too. Because it's working through her. Now, verse 27. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Let me read that again. Her house. This whore's house is the way to hell, especially the married ones. Because if that man catches you, he might kill you, right? And you find yourself dead. Going down to the chambers of death. Do you see this? So now I'm getting ready to show you the current event that I was talking about. And then after that, I'm going to show you what hell is according to these child support bankers who robbing you and stealing all your money. One moment. Okay, here we go.
A white female kidnaps, duct tapes, and stabs a black male during a Tinder date. Let's put a picture.
Oh, yeah, and this is for fair use purposes only, right? I don't claim any ownership over this clip I'm showing you. I'm just showing you a current event that is very similar, not exactly, but it's very similar to what we just read in the Bible. So fair use, right? I don't claim any copyright or ownership over this content we're looking at. It's just for fair use and educational and informational purposes only. Let's continue.
You're up full throttle here. All right? She could be incarcerated right now for murder. Let me give you the background as to what happened. According to the police, a Colorado woman decided to duct tape, stab a 21-year-old black male Tinder date. She orders DoorDash while he bled. The victim barely escaped with his life. The officers arrested Lauren Marie Dooley and charged her with second-degree kidnapping, a Class 3 felony, 2 counts of assault in the second degree, a Class 4 felony, menacing, a Class 5 felony, and false imprisonment, a Class 2 misdemeanor. According to WKRC, Dooley appeared in an El Paso County court on Thursday, October 6th. I have significant background to this extreme story. The victim was 21 years of age, a black male who met his attacker on the popular dating app. A Colorado woman has now been charged with multiple felonies after she allegedly brutally assaulted her Tinder date. The 22-year-old is accused of stripping him naked, duct taping him, choking him, and slicing him up with a knife before she ordered something to eat on DoorDash. The victim took advantage of an opportunity to plot his escape and lived to tell the tale. The person told the dispatcher he or she could hear someone saying, "Because you cut me and you're going to kill me," and said he was bleeding all over the bed. They wrote, upon arrival, residents at the apartment advised there was a naked male in the parking lot. This is when he escaped. That needed help. Officers located, and we've redacted his name, who was naked and appeared to be bleeding from a laceration on his left arm. Name redacted, also actively backing away from the suspect, identified via a law enforcement database as Lauren Dooley, date of birth 6/2/2000, who appeared to have blood smeared on her arms and hands. I already know some people are going to ask and push back on why did I redact and why have I not proposed the individual's name who's a victim. Here's why: because he's also a victim of sexual assault. I don't give a damn what the charges say. If this was a female in the same position, I would do the exact same thing. Even though she is not charged with sexual assault, this is a sexual assault case, in my opinion. So I would treat it as such on this broadcast. There's more information. The report continued, name redacted, exclaimed that Lauren tied him up and cut him. Lauren was detained but invoked her Miranda rights and refused to speak with me. The officer said the young man did not know the young woman for long, but still went to her house.
He went to her house, which almost led him to hell and the chambers of death. All right? I'll admit, it's not funny what happened to him, but since he made it out alive, nobody's going to have to tell his ass to not do something like this again. You barely know the woman and you let her tie you up. But let's continue.
There's more. They sat on Lauren's couch and talked a bit. Lauren then proceeded to take clothing off and perform oral sex on him, according to the report. She then used duct tape to bind him, name redacted, wrists together and ankles together. The man said that despite finding it odd, he still consented. Now, let me just pause right here. Okay. This is your first time meeting somebody. This is already a weird situation. I'm saying this as a public service announcement to anyone who has their first encounter with somebody. Please, for the sake of all things holy, do not allow them to completely make you vulnerable to attack. Okay? If you get down like that, you get down like that. I have no issue with that. But damn it, at least know who the person is. This situation happened. This man is now completely vulnerable to whatever attack she decided to bring to him, and that's exactly what she did. It can't be that serious, fellas. That's my point. All right? However, when Lauren produced a knife and demanded he gets into her bedroom, he no longer consented to staying at the residence. That's when it became a sexual assault. Okay, this is when it goes into this level. Because he was afraid he got into her bed and let her climb on top of him. She then proceeded to use the knife to cut his left shoulder, and then used both hands to apply direct pressure to his throat for roughly 20 seconds, making it difficult for him to breathe. Lauren stopped, but only to procure a belt that she then placed around the young black male's neck. The second half of the affidavit, let's put it up, because I want you to know we have the full affidavit here, everything that has been highlighted in evidence and testimony. Dooley then tells the victim to get into the bathtub and bathe. Okay? While he was in the tub, she ordered food on DoorDash. Once her order came, before he opened the door, she turned to her date and said, "If you scream or say anything, I'll kill you." After eating the food, she took her date, quote unquote, and went back into her bed, covering him with a blanket. As the young man gets into the bed with her, he notices the knife she used to stab him is underneath the cover near his feet. At some point, Dooley falls asleep, and then he grabs the knife and attempts to free himself, cutting the duct tape. She falls asleep because torture is exhausting. She ate DoorDash. She's torturing. She falls asleep. Once free, he tried to get his keys and his phone to get out of the apartment, but accidentally bumped into a table. The noise from the bump woke Dooley up, but the victim did not stop to engage her. He ran into the parking lot, demanding help, and was met by police officers. He had no clothes on during this time. This is a hell of a story. So obviously, this story is still developing. She invoked her Miranda rights. She is not talking. We have no statement on the record from why this person did this monstrous thing according to the allegation. But please, everyone, let this serve as a reminder. You can't simply go head first into everybody's home and trust them without some level of fence or barrier around that relationship. People should earn that level of trust. Now, I know some people will make jokes about this segment. Some people will talk about how he liked it at first and whatever. Let's be 100. You wouldn't like to be in this situation. You don't want your children to be in this situation. People that you love, you won't want them to be in this situation. It's a bad situation. So we're going to highlight this story, stay on top of it, and hopefully at some point we'll understand the motive behind this extreme.
All right. So now you see what can happen if you go to these hoes' house, don't know them. You're going to find out. She hath cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Now, we just saw a physical example of that where this man almost lost his life. But it gets better, right? Because some of these hoes don't pull the knife on you where you immediately see that she's basically evil, right? Or a devil. She got something else for you. She gonna put you in debt, put you in the system where you're gonna be her slave financially or a slave to the system financially for at least 18 years, right? So let's get that. Let's see how she can lead you to hell in this world. Some people think hell is somewhere else. No, they can lead you to hell right here while you on earth. One moment. All right. So right now, we are in the Black's Law Dictionary. All right. And in this Black's Law Dictionary, we're going to look at the definition of hell. All right. So here we go. The definition of hell in the Black's Law Dictionary: the name formerly given to a place under the exchequer chamber. You ever seen those commercials where they talk about these credit cards and these traveler's checks? And it's spelled with the Q-U-E in it, because this is talking about checks. So hell is the name formerly given to a place under the exchequer chamber. Watch this here, where the king's debtors were confined. So if you were in debt, they put you in hell, because being in debt is hell. And the way they treat you at these so-called child support courts, treat you like you're not even a living soul or a living man, but basically treat you like a piece of shiznit, that's because you in hell. So her house leads down to hell and to the chambers of death, where you might lose your life, because some people get killed in jail or in prison, or you can get killed by these ex-boyfriends or ex-husband, or unfortunately a current husband, or you can be in debt, which is hell right here. This is what they're talking about. So you see how they interpret hell. You thought they was talking about the fire and brimstone. No, they talking about putting you in debt. So if anybody needs help getting free from one of these holes or multiple holes, unfortunately, some of you might have multiple children by these women that's got you in this system, you need to set up a consultation with me. You need to send an email to nomoorbs@childsupportgreed.com and put in the subject line that you want a private meeting with me. And then I'll respond to you from there. Make sure you check your junk or spam mail folder, because sometimes the spam filters will move mail to junk that you might actually want to receive. Again, that's No More BS, which stands for No More Bullshit, at childsupportgreed.com. So I hope this has been educational and informative for you to help you stay out of hell and out of the chambers of death, out here messing with these hoes who gonna take your money, your freedom, and possibly your life. Have a good day.